Have you ever actually stopped to think about it? What would really happen if you just stopped drinking water for 3 whole days? No coffee, no tea, not a single drop. It sounds like a simple enough question, right? But the journey your body goes on, well, it's a shockingly fast descent into total system failure. So let's dive in. It's so much more than just feeling a little parched. It's this quiet, sneaky thing at first, and then it gets really, really fast, until ultimately it's a complete shutdown. Our bodies, they don't negotiate when it comes to dehydration. They're built for one thing, survival. And when you take away water, that survival instinct kicks into overdrive, triggering all these desperate measures. Okay, let's start with just one big number, 60%. Think about that for a second. Roughly 60% of your body is water. It's a staggering figure when you really stop and consider it. But what's even more important is what all that water is actually doing inside you right now. Yeah, it's not just sloshing around in there like some kind of passive filler. That 60% is working hard, 24/7. It's regulating your body temperature, keeping your blood circulating. It's literally helping you form the thoughts in your head. Pretty much every single biological function you can think of depends on it. I mean, you can survive for weeks without food, right? But without water, oh, that clock starts ticking way, way faster.
All right, so let's imagine it. You've stopped drinking water. Day 1 begins. For the first few hours, you probably wouldn't feel all that different. But don't let that fool you, because behind the scenes, your body has already hit the panic button and is shifting into a state of quiet, desperate conservation.
Let's just map out this 3-day journey. Day 1, it's all about conservation mode. Day 2, that's when the systems start feeling the strain. And by day 3, we're talking critical failure. And, this isn't some gentle, gradual slope. It's way more like falling down a series of cliffs. Okay, so what's actually happening inside your body on that first day? Well, your kidneys, your body's amazing little filtration plants, they get the memo right away. They drastically cut back on urine output to save every bit of fluid. Meanwhile, your brain releases a hormone called vasopressin, which is basically screaming at your body, hold on to every last drop. And that's when you start to feel it. Your mouth gets dry, and that subtle but nagging fatigue and dizziness begins to creep in. I love this quote because it completely reframes how you think about thirst, doesn't it? That dry, nagging feeling, it's not your body politely suggesting you grab a drink. No way. It is a full-on biological alarm. It's your brain screaming that the entire machine is critically low on its most essential fluid. It's a signal we should absolutely never ignore. All right, let's move on to day 2. And this is where things get really serious. I mean, those initial conservation efforts can only do so much. Now, the lack of water starts to put a visible, dangerous strain on all of your core systems. The warning signals are no longer subtle at all. Just look at the system-wide impact here. Your blood, which should be flowing nice and easy, starts getting thick and sludgy. So what happens? Your heart has to work way harder to pump it around, causing your heart rate to spike. Your brain, which is starved for optimal blood flow, gets confused and you get irritable. Even your skin loses its elasticity and gets dry. You see? You're not just thirsty anymore. Your entire body is struggling. And let's just focus on the brain for a moment, because this is pretty wild. Even when you're just mildly dehydrated, your cognitive function takes a hit. But by day 2, this becomes really pronounced. Trying to make a simple decision becomes a huge challenge. You can't focus, you feel cranky, and your ability to process information just plummets. Your brain is literally running on fumes. And that brings us to day 3. This is where we cross a very serious line, from dangerous to potentially fatal. The body's systems have been under siege for 48 hours, and now they're being pushed way past their breaking point. This is the stage of critical failure. The really crucial thing to understand is that this is a domino effect. First, the kidneys may begin to shut down completely. Then, brain function deteriorates, leading to total disorientation. Blood pressure plummets, which risks you going into shock. And the heart, starved of electrolytes, can develop a completely unstable rhythm. Each failure just triggers the next one in a horrifying cascade. So when the kidneys fail, they can no longer filter all the toxins out of your blood. This leads to a condition called uremia, where all those waste products build up to poisonous levels. It's a direct and life-threatening consequence of the kidneys being deprived of the water they desperately need to function. Some accounts of extreme dehydration describe a strange sense of calm that happens near the end. But let's be crystal clear here. This isn't some peaceful, mystical transition. It is the body's vital systems shutting down. It's the final stage where the machine simply can't maintain itself any longer. So after that pretty grim timeline, let's just pull back and reframe what we've learned. Water isn't just a healthy habit or some beverage choice. It is, without any exaggeration, your most essential lifeline.
It's also super important to bust a couple of dangerous myths. First, you cannot train your body to need less water. That's like trying to train your car to run without oil. It's impossible. And second, drinks like alcohol or soda are absolutely not substitutes. Alcohol is a diuretic, which means it actually speeds up dehydration, and all the sugar in sodas can just make your body's imbalances even worse.
And that, right there, is really the ultimate takeaway from all of this. Reaching for that glass of water isn't just about quenching your thirst. It's about maintaining every single system we've just talked about. Your circulation, your kidneys, your brain. It's not a habit. It truly is a lifeline. So the next time you take a drink of water, maybe you just pause for a second. The real mystery isn't just what happens when we stop drinking it. It's how something so simple, so common, so easily taken for granted holds the absolute power to keep our incredibly complex bodies alive.